So we're about ready to start game 3 of the Dodger Angel series as Emmett Sheehan's about ready to get up there on the mound and take on the first hitter, which will be shortstop Net-Throw. Net-Throw waiting in, the pitch swung on and missed for strike one. 0-1 the count to Net-Throw. Sheehan wind up, the pitch is swung on and missed. The pitch on the way is a little outside. Sheehan working quickly. The pitch swung on and fouled back. 1-2 the count to Net-Throw. Dodgers winning the first two games of this series, winning big last night 9-2, scoring all their runs up front in the first inning. Angels got one in the first and one in the ninth, and that was all she wrote. 9-2 Dodger win. Emmett Sheehan waiting up on the mound, and the 1-2 pitch on the way. Swung on and fouled back. Fastball. Count remains 1-2 to Net-Throw. For the Angels, waiting on deck is wind up, the pitch on the way. It's a high fly ball hit out to right field. They're waiting for it is Tucker for the catch and one out. Tucker returns to right field after taking last night off. The Dodgers will look defensively from left to right. They got Ward in left, Call in center for Rojas today, for Pages, and in right field will be Tucker. From first base, at first base is Freeman, second base Freeland, third base Muncy, shortstop is Rojas in for Betts. Behind the plate is Rushing. The pitch from Emmett is high to Mike Trout, who's the DH today, for ball one. This season, Trout 64 games he's played in, .232 average, 14 home runs and 31 ribbies. The pitch way high. Trout ducking to get out of the way of that one. So it's a 2-0 count. Just the start of things here in Los Angeles. A beautiful day on Dog Day. They got dogs rot all over the stadium here. The pitch on the way is a high fly ball hit by Trout. Once again, Tucker's under it. He's there. He's got it for out number 2. So 2 outs for the Angels. And that'll bring up Meckler. Meckler playing left field tonight, as he has for the last couple of nights for the Angels. Tucker out there in right field with his sunglasses on top of his cap. Luckily, he didn't need them on that catch. It's a bright blue sky out there today. First pitch on the way to Meckler is taking a curveball for strike one. Sheehan once again to the windup. The 0-1 pitch outside. Change up for ball one. 1 ball, 1 strike. Sheehan working quickly. The pitch is a high drive into right field, moving over. Oh, Tucker dives it, can't get it. As it falls below him, he picks it up, throws it on in, and Meckler is at second with a double, and Tucker's feeling a little bit slow in getting up. Put his hands on his knees after that ball. He came so close, sunglasses coming off of the glove, off of the cap, and then he got up in a quick hurry and he stepped on his sunglasses. So Tucker now doesn't have the sunglasses on the cap or on his face. Meanwhile, Peraza's to the plate. A runner at second. The pitch swung on and missed, a slider. Just the start of things here. 2 outs for the Angels in the top of the first inning, and they got a double to right field by Meckler, who's now standing at second. Sheehan looks over at Meckler at second. The pitch swung on and missed to Peraza. Fastball. Now he's got an 0-2 count. Oh and 2 the count to Peraza. Meckler away from second base. 2 outs, top of the first inning, no score. Just the start of things. The pitch swung on and missed, and down go the Angels. And the first strikeout for Sheehan as the Angels are retired. After a half an inning, Angels no runs, 1 hit, no errors. The Dodgers coming up. Back at Dodger Stadium for the Dodgers to come to the plate. And the first hitter will be Ohtani, followed by Freeman, and then Tucker hitting in the third spot, and Muncy will be in the fourth slot if anybody gets on. Taking a look at the Angels defensively, they'll have Ward in left field. Check that for the Angels defensively. It'll have Meckler in left field. Surrey in center. Trout is doing DH today. Adele in right field. At first base, Chanel. At second base, Peraza. At third base, Walton. At shortstop, Netro. Behind the plate, Rivero. And on the mound, Soriano. So the Angels trying to take at least one game from this series. The Dodgers swept the Angels in Anaheim, and they're on the verge of sweeping the Angels here in Los Angeles. So Shohei ready to check on in. The windup, the pitch on the way is a high fly ball hit out to center field. Hurry, it's Surrey. He's there. He's got it for out number 1. So 1 pitch, 1 out. And Freddie Freeman now coming to the plate. Freeman check it in as always from the left-hand side of the plate. Facing the right-hand pitcher, Jose Serrano. Serrano 13 starts. 85 strikeouts. The pitch on the way is swung on and fouled back. Fastball. Serrano pitched the Dodgers tough in Anaheim, but the Dodgers eventually broke through and beat him. But he did have a good showing the last time he faced the Dodgers. Next pitch on the way is a knuckle curve for ball 1. This season, Serrano tied for most in the major leagues with 38 walks. Second worst in the American League, 4.5 balls. Pitch on the way was a ground shot right up the center, right through the mound and into center field for a base hit, and Freddie Freeman is aboard. So that ball was coming back very quickly to Serrano at home. He was lucky to get out of the way of that, and it just went right by Netro into center and picked up by Surrey in center field. Jose Serrano in his last outing pitched 4.2 innings, 3 hits, 7 strikeouts, and gave up 7 runs. The windup, the pitch is a sinker for strike one. This season, Tucker, in 61 games, hitting .240, 5 home runs, and 29 ribbies. Freddie away from first base. Serrano looks down. The pitch swung on and missed. The splitter. Just the start of things there at Dodger Stadium. Angels 1 out, 1-2, and then they got a double and then 1 out. So first, only 4 hitters for the Angels came up in the first inning. No score for the Angels, and the Dodgers now in the bottom of the first trying to push home a run with Freeman at first. There's a ground ball hit sharply to the first baseman. Chenille, he'll run over and tag first base and get out Tucker. Meanwhile, on to second base goes Freeman. And up comes Max Muncy to the plate. Muncy this season in 59 games comes in with a .259 average, 14 home runs and 21 ribbies, facing Jose Serrano now. So 2 outs for the Dodgers, a man at second base. The exact same thing the Angels had in their top of the first inning. Let's see how the Dodgers fare in that same situation. The pitch to Muncy is a splitter taken low for ball 1. The 1-0 to Muncy is taken for strike 1, a knuckle curve. 1-1 the count. Dodgers trying to get something started here in the bottom of the first. There's a ground ball hit sharply down to second baseman Peraza. He throws on over to first Chenille, and that'll do it for the Dodgers. So the score after 1 complete inning, Dodgers 0, Angels 0. Back to the top of the second inning. The Angels now getting prepared to bring up first baseman Chenille to the plate, followed by Adell, and then Madrigal. Emmett Sheehan on top of the mound, ready to go. Shanawell's first pitch on the way is taken right down the middle for called strike 1, a slider. Nolan Shanawell in 50 games, hitting .258, 4 home runs and 24 ribbies. Shanawell's pitch is taken a little high and inside for ball 1. Shanawell waiting in from the left-hand side of the plate. No score, 1-1 count to him. The windup and the pitch is outside curveball. Shanuel. The windup and the pitch by Sheehan is taken for called strike 2. Fastball. Sheehan striking out the last hitter he faced at the top of the first inning. Now trying to go after Shanuel. 2-2 the count. The pitch. Struck 3 as he swings and misses at a letter-high fastball. That's strikeout number 2. So Sheehan has struck out the last 2 batters he's faced. He got Peraza and now Shanuel, and up comes Adell. 1 out, top of the second inning. Sheehan to the windup. The pitch. A little low and outside. Slider missing for ball 1. Jo Adell this season in 65 games, hitting .232, 9 home runs, and 35 ribbies. Sheehan gets the windup and the pitch. Fouled back, a slider. So Emmett Sheehan trying to keep the consecutive streak of really nice, fine starting pitching with the Dodgers going. Yamamoto last night, Ohtani the night before. The windup and the 1-1 pitch is low for ball 2. Sheehan has now thrown 22 pitches, and the 2-1 pitch awaits Adell. And here it is. Swung on and missed. Strike 2, a fastball. 1 out. We're in the second inning. No score. The Dodgers' pitching has been masterful if you take into consideration that it's the bullpen that has let them down when they lost to the Diamondbacks, their last game there. That was a really strong performance by the starter, Roki. The pitch is taken for a ball, and the count is now full, 3-2. 3-2 the count to Adell. Madrigal waiting on deck. Here's the pitch. There's a line shot through a diving Rojas and into center field, picked up there by Call and thrown in, and now the Angels got their second hit of the game. Rodriguez playing short in place of Betts today. And Madrigal now coming to the plate with 1 on, 1 out. Sheehan checks over at first base to Adell. The pitch is high for ball 1, fastball. Let's go. Double play right now, needed by the Dodgers. Let's get it started. Madrigal hitting .333, no home runs and 1 ribby. And now he's got a ball here on him. So 1 ball, no strikes. Adell away from first base. Once again, Sheehan takes a look over at him. No outs. We're in the second inning. The pitch, no runs. Check that. 1 out, no runs. So no score yet. Slider fouled away. Count is now 1-1. Sheehan looks in, the 1-1 pitch. Swung on and missed, a fastball. Count is now 1-2 strikes. Sheehan 1 strike away from striking out his third player of the game. Sheehan looks down. Adell away from first. The pitch lunged for and fouled away, a slider. Pitch on the way is high for ball 2. 2-2 strikes. And with that, Sheehan will grab the rosin bag and take a little walk behind the mound before hopping back on top, ready for the next pitch. Sheehan now throws over to first base, and back is Adell. Two and two the count to Madrigal. 1 out, 1 on, no score in the top of the second inning. Pitch on the way, swung on and fouled back, a fastball. Count remains 2-2 strikes to Madrigal. Emmett Sheehan's fastball thus far is 93 miles an hour, and the waiting in, the 2-2 pitch on the way. Swung on and a high fly ball moving over to the backstop and took a look at it, was rushing, it was out into the second row behind home plate. So the count remains 2-2 strikes to Madrigal, and he's making Sheehan throw pitches here, adding up his pitch count. Waiting on deck for the Angels is Surrey, the center fielder. Pitch on the way, swung on and fouled back again, a slider. Sheehan has now thrown 33 pitches, and we're only 1 out in the second inning. So the Angels are definitely fouling off pitches. 8 pitches have already been served up to Madrigal. He's fouled off 5 of them. Madrigal waiting in again. What's he going to do? The 2-2 pitch by Sheehan is swung on, moving quickly over his Tucker to the line. He's dropped it. Tucker in foul territory, had it trickle off his glove, and let's see if that's going to come back to haunt the Dodgers right there. So we'll chart that at the second inning mark with 1 out. Tucker crashed in to the lower box seating area there in foul territory. So that's 2-2 count. And let's see what becomes of that dropped ball. It should have been the second out. Emmett looking in to Madrigal. The pitch on the way, swung on and fouled back again. So Madrigal's made Sheehan work with 11 pitches. The slider has been 85 miles an hour. He's thrown a fastball of 94 high. So 11 pitches he's pitched to Madrigal. And his pitch count now is 35 for the game. Pitch on the way, swung on and yet fouled away again. The 12th pitch to Madrigal. Two and two the count. Madrigal is now working and waiting on his 12th pitch from Emmett. The pitch on the right down the middle for called strikeout number 3 by Emmett Sheehan, and out number 2, and down goes I don't know why he's still waiting. He's going to challenge it. Oh, they're going to check it, and it is indeed going to be it is a ball. Can you believe that? Upon further review by a 0.1 of a centimeter, and Madrigal lives on. So it'll now be full count, 3 balls and 2 strikes, so Sheehan doesn't ring him up yet. What an at-bat. His 13th pitch on the way to Madrigal. The pitch swung on and lunged and fouled away. So Madrigal has had 13 pitches, and that's as many as some pitchers pitch in a full inning to get 3 outs. Wow, he's really making Emmett Sheehan work. 38 pitches he's thrown. 3-2 count. Three-two pitch, and it's high, ball 4, and all of that, a slider misses. Angels challenge, that was indeed a ball all the way. Wasn't even close to being anything else. So now the Angels got 2 on. So after all the 14 pitches that Madrigal made Sheehan work, he walks him. Could have given him 4 pitches wide and had him save all those pitches if you're going to do that. So now, 2 men on, 1 out. Angels trying to push forth a run here. And Mark Pryor's now out, pitching coach for the Dodgers, talking to Sheehan. Rushing there along with Sheehan and Pryor at the mound, and a little meeting happening. Umpire coming on over now to tell him, let's get going. Sheehan has thrown 39 pitches, and we're only still in the 2nd inning with 1 out. Surrey now comes to the plate. Surrey playing center field in place of Trout, who's doing DH duty. 17 games, he's hitting .286, 2 home runs, 7 ribbies. He had a career high of 25 home runs in 2023. Sheehan now's got 2 men on, 1 out. We're only in the 2nd inning, and this is going to be his 40th pitch. Swung on and missed by Surrey. Half type of a swing. Not his whole heart wasn't in that, but nonetheless, it's still a strike. No balls, 1 strike to Surrey. The pitch. Outside, a slider missing for ball 1. One ball, 1 strike. 2 on, 1 out in the 2nd inning. Sheehan once again looks down, checks the runners. The windup way high. Ball 2, a fastball missing. 2 balls, 1 strike. The pitch on the way. High for ball 3, a fastball just missing. So now Surrey's got a 3-1 count. There's 1 out. We're in the 2nd inning. No score. But the Angels have 2 on. Waiting on deck for the Angels is the catcher, Rivero. Three and 1 the count. The pitch swung on and missed. A slider. Now it's a 3-2 count. Now Sheehan's got to go after him. Sheehan has now thrown 44 pitches and still only 1 out in the 2nd inning. No score, though, but he's got 2 men on. Sheehan's really having to labor out there. The 3-2 pitch swung on and fouled away along the first baseline. A slider. So Sheehan threw 14 pitches in the first inning, and now he's doubled up that with 31 pitches in the second inning, and we're not even out of it. So he struck out Chanuel to start this inning, and that's the lone out of this inning, and since then he's let 2 Angels on board, and now he's 3-2 to Surrey. Price, the pitching coach, on the phone to the bullpen. 3-2 the count. The pitch on the way. Inside, they're going to look over at third. They're asking for appeal, and nothing. They're trying to say it was a foul tip. And what's happened here? It looks like it was a ball. Oh, yeah, it was a foul tip. So Rushing is correct. That ball foul tipped off into the glove of Rushing, which should have been an out. But nope. Instead, the bases are loaded. They'll give him a walk. And Surrey lives on with a lucky missed call, which is not reviewable. And Rivero comes in, the catcher, hitting .133, no home runs and 2 ribbies. Remember that. Turner dropped that ball in foul territory. The pitch on the way is taken for called strike 1. So check that. Tucker dropping that ball in right field in foul territory. There should be 2 outs in this inning. Instead, we got 2 on. Pitch on the way, swung on and missed a letter-high fastball. So Tucker misses that foul ball in foul territory. There was 1 on at the time and 1 out. Then Madrigal gets on with a walk, and then Surrey gets on with a walk. Here's a shot hit up to center field, base hit, and picked it up is the center fielder called, but the Angels now have 2 runners come across and score. And just like that, like I said, that foul ball that Tucker missed in outfield in the foul territory has come back to haunt the Dodgers. So 2 runs pushed across, and it remains 1 out for the Angels and 2 runs score. And that's it. Dave Roberts is now coming out to pull the plug on Emmett Sheehan. So he doesn't even get out of the second inning. Sheehan is not happy about it at all. He is really just beside himself. And that's the shortest outing of his career. 1 1/3 inning, and Sheehan is done. Thank you, Tucker, for missing that ball in the outfield. And the Angels have new life and continue to live on because of that drop foul ball. So Tucker now owes the Dodgers at least a 2-run home run before this game is over to make up for that. And let's see how much more damage the Angels get out of it. Right now we're involved in a pitching change. So Emmett Sheehan leaves disappointed. The Dodgers going to the bullpen. Who are they bringing in? Didn't see anyone warming up. It's going to be Henriquez now coming up. Let's see. Yep, Henriquez is now coming in to spell Emmett Sheehan and pick up this game with 1 out in the bottom of the top of the second inning. 1 out, top of the second inning. Angels push forth 2 runs. And Tucker dropped that ball in foul territory, hitting off of his glove. A ball he would catch 99 out of 100 times. But in this one instance, it's cost him. because it kept the Angels inning alive. And now they've pushed for 2 runs, and they're still out there with only 1 out. And a new pitcher coming in. Thankfully for the Dodgers, they are playing the Angels, so plenty of chances for them to come back. But that pitcher that they're facing in Serrano is a tough cookie when he's on. Okay, so Eduardo Henriquez comes in. 22 games he's appeared in with 22 strikeouts and 9 walks. Allowed 1 home run. Now facing the top of the order, Netro. The pitch is low. They get a 100-mile-an-hour fastball for strike 1. Zach Netro flew out in his first at-bat. Angels 2, Dodgers nothing. We're in the top of the second inning with 1 out. Enriquez looks down. The pitch swung on and fouled back. 101-mile-an-hour sinker. So Henriquez comes out of the bullpen throwing smoke. Let's see how long they plan on keeping him in this game. And Emmett Sheehan is beside himself in the dugout, feeling as though he let the team down. But keep in mind, if Tucker, you could play the if game all you want, but if Tucker catches that foul ball, this inning may have been totally different. 0-2, the count to Netro. 2 runs across in the second inning for the Angels. Runner at third, a runner at first. The windup, the pitch way outside, bouncing, slider for ball 1. So Angels have really had a charm inning, a foul tip that wasn't called. It should have been out. And then Tucker dropped that ball, that foul ball out there. So technically the Dodgers should be out of this inning. When you look at it like that, there's only 1 out. Let's go Dodgers. Let's get them out right now. Don't allow any more damage to come across. There's a shot foul ball back, a fastball, fouled away. Dodgers should not still be out there. A foul tip that was blown by the umpires that wasn't seen. And then Tucker blowing that foul ball in foul territory that he should have caught. 1-2 the count. Pitch on the way is low, slider for 2-2. So the little parts of Sheehan that we did see he pitched well in, it's just he was a hard luck pitcher for the day. He struck out 2, but these runners on base are his. There's a ground foul, a sinker, 102-mile-an-hour sinker foul. Count remains 2-2 to Netro. 1 out. Enriquez checks over to first base, checks the runner Rivero there. Looks in to rushing, gets the sign, the 2-2 pitch. Outside for ball 3, slider missing. Now the count is full to Netro. And on deck, the future Hall of Famer, Mike Trout. Enriquez waiting in, looking. And the 3-2 pitch. Outside, they're going to look over to first base, appeal, and he got him. So it had to go to an appeal. The plate umpire was ready to let him take his base. So Enriquez gets his first strikeout. The Dodgers' third of the game. Sheehan had the first 2. And now there's 2 outs in the second inning. So that's a little bit more manageable. And Mike Trout coming up. Trout, the 7th man to come up to the plate in this inning. Henriquez pitch is outside for ball one. Trout flew out in his first at-bat. 1-0 the count. The windup, the pitch, swung on and missed. 1-1, a slider. Trout hanging tough, waiting up there. Pitch on the way. Outside for ball two. Henriquez has now thrown 11 pitches in his short stint here. 2 outs in the second inning. 2 on. Angels 2, Dodgers 0. The windup, the pitch, low for ball 3 on a sinker. Trout, 34 years old, came in as a 19-year-old, setting the league on fire. And now he's hanging on. The pitch on the way, swung on. There's a little chopper hit up to the second baseman, Freeland. He handles it, throws over to Freeman in time, and the Dodgers are out of the inning. So that's it. The Dodgers get out of the inning with cheaply enough, with only allowing 2 runs. And the score after an inning and a half, the Angels 2, the Dodgers 0. And I'll take a brief timeout, and I'll be right back after this. Okay, so for the Dodgers, in the bottom of the second inning, trailing 2-0 to the Angels, Dodgers will be sending up Call, Rushing, and Ward in the bottom of the second, trying to redeem themselves and get back some runs that they gave up in the top of the second inning. Once again, the 2 calls that or things that happened in that top of the second that helped those Angels get those 2 runs with a missed foul ball in foul territory, catching it by Tucker, and also the blown call by the umpire, not seeing the tip foul that was caught by Rushing. And instead, they gave the Angel player a walk, and after that, the Angels got 2 runs, and that's where we're at now. And Emmett Sheehan got a quick hook. So Emmett Sheehan only went 1 1/3 inning. Henriquez came in, pitched fine, got the Dodgers out of that second inning, and now they got to face Jose Serrano for the Angels, the hard-throwing Jose Serrano. Has only pitched 10 pitches in the first inning. So, lucky enough for the Dodgers, it could have been a lot worse up there on the scoreboard, but they only gave up 2 runs. Okay, so Call now to the plate. The pitch, swung on, check swing, foul. So no balls, 1 strike to Call. Call hitting .264, no home runs in 34 games. He's got 13 ribbies, 12 walks, and 11 strikeouts. So Call is either walking or striking out because he's not hitting any home runs. Awaiting the pitch on the way is a check swing down to the second baseman. He's going to hurry up, throw. Oh, wildly throws, and if Call is aboard, bumping Chanel at first. So Peraza threw wildly trying to pick up that ball, and Call never gave up hustling. Fine play by Call on that. It goes back to watching Muncia in Arizona running down the line hard, not giving up. That's a hustle right there, a hustle play. So give a star on that one to Call. It was a little check swing, but he never gave up on it. He forced Peraza to hurry and throw, and he threw it away, and Call is aboard. Nice hustle play by Call. Bang the drum on that one. Rushing now comes up, waiting for the left-hand side of the plate. The first pitch swung and fouled, going over to third. It'll go back up into the crowd. Third baseman Walton went over to take a look at that near the left field side, and it was well up into the stands. So Dodgers now have one on, no outs, rushing to the plate. Let's see if they can get something now. Serrano looking in, and the 0-1 pitch to Rushing is low for ball one, a splitter. 1 ball, 1 strike. No outs. We're in the bottom of the second inning. Angels 2, Dodgers 0. The pitch, shot, lined into right field, base hit. First 2 Dodgers are aboard. Call will stop at second, and Rushing is aboard with a single. So now, Dodgers trying to get a rally and something going here. No outs, 2 on, and they've suddenly come alive. So we got 2 on now. And that'll bring up Ward, Ryan Ward, the left fielder. So the Dodgers got some unlucky breaks, some of them at their fault, in that top of the second inning, having the Angels score 2 runs, and now the Dodgers trying to make their own luck happen here. There's a fastball called strike 1. Two on, no outs, bottom of the second inning. Angels 2, Dodgers nothing. The pitch is in the dirt, a knuckle curve for ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. This season, Ryan Ward, 6 games, hitting .278. He's 1 for 4 with a double, 2 ribbies, a run last night. He's making the most of his opportunity after spending years in the minor league. 1 home run, 5 ribbies. Pitch on the way, swung on, and a little dribbler foul along the first baseline. So 1-2's a count to Ryan Ward. One for 2. The pitch swung on. There's a shot down to Peraza. He's going to try shoot 2. There's a net throw over to first and in time, and a double play. Meanwhile, Call moves over to third base. The Angels shoot 2, and the Dodgers are now with 2 outs in the bottom of the second. And up comes Rojas. So a 4-5-3 Angel double play this season for Rojas. In 41 games, he's hitting .255. 1 home run and 9 ribbies. So just like that, the Angels turning the double play, something the Dodgers desperately needed in their top of the second inning for the Angels. Meanwhile, a knuckle curve is over the plate for strike 1 to Rojas. Call away from third base. 2 outs now in the second inning. Wind up, the pitch swung on and missed. A knuckle curve, 0-2 now the count to Rojas. See how quickly things can change in baseball? Literally three pitches ago, the Dodgers had 2 on with no outs, and now 3 pitches later, they got 2 outs and an 0-2 count to Rojas. The pitch outside for ball 1, a slider missing. 1 ball, 2 strikes. at a blink of an eye in baseball, you see new life, you're on it, you're on top of things, and the next thing you know, you're on the ropes of getting nothing in this inning. Meanwhile, call away from third. The 1-2 pitch to Rojas. There's a little dribbler, head down to net throw at short. He'll pick it up cleanly, throw over to Chanuel, and the Dodgers are done. The score after 2 complete innings, the Angels 2, the Dodgers 0. So now, the Angels will be sending up Meckler, Peraza, and Chanuel to the plate. And are the Dodgers still leaving Henriquez in? It looks like they are. So Henriquez will now be out there for his second inning of work. If you're enjoying the action I'm bringing you, please give me a thumbs up. Highly appreciate any support you can pass along the way. Also, subscribe to the channel. Would be greatly appreciated. Back to live action here. The Dodgers tomorrow are off for a travel day as they travel to Pittsburgh to take on the Pirates on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. It's a 3:40 start time in Los Angeles, 6:40 in Pittsburgh. And then after that 3-game series in Pittsburgh, they head on over to Chicago to take on the White Sox for 3 games, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then after that brief trip to Chicago, they come home and face Tampa Bay for 3 games. So that's a quick look at what the Dodgers got going over the next week. And Henriquez will indeed be out there facing the Angels here in the second inning. Meckler now coming up. Meckler waiting in. The pitch swung on and missed by Henriquez. Meckler doubled in his first plate appearance, 1 for 1, hitting .264. Henriquez to the windup. The pitch is a little nubber hit down to Muncy at third, throws it on over to Freeman. Freeman had to go lunge down to his knees to get it, but it is out, number 1 for the Angels. So 1 out. We're in the third inning. Angels 2, Dodgers 0. And that'll bring up Peraza, the second baseman. The pitch to Peraza swung on and missed a sinker, 101-mile-an-hour pitch. The 0-1 pitch on the way. Taken for called strike 2. So 1 out. We're in the top of the third. Angels 2, Dodgers 0. In Peraza's last plate appearance, he struck out. 0 for 1. Waiting in. The pitch. Swung on and missed, and down goes Peraza, and that'll be the second strikeout for Henriquez. And now that'll bring up Chanuel. Pitch is way outside. Curveball missing badly. Chanuel 0 for 1 in his previous plate appearance. We're in the third inning. 2 outs for the Angels. The pitch on the way. Swung on and fouled back. A cutter and out of play. The 1-1 pitch to Chanuel is a high fly ball. Out for it goes Freddie Freeman in foul territory, coming over to look, and it's back up into the stands. The count is now 1-2 to Chanuel. 2 outs. We're in the top of the third inning. Angels 2, Dodgers 0. Angels having a very fortunate top of the second inning when they got home their 2 runs. The pitch on the way. Fouled away. 1-2 the count remains on a fastball. Emmett Sheehan pitched only 1 1/3 innings and couldn't get past the misunfortunate of his own luck. Umpire missing a tip caught should have been for a strike, and Tucker missing a foul ball in foul territory. And next thing you know, Emmett Sheehan was chased, and he was out of there and done after 1 1/3 innings, and Angels scored 2 runs. Meanwhile, Nolan Schanuel struck out in his first plate appearance for the day. The count is now 2-2, 2 outs in the top of the third inning. The pitch swung on and missed, and down go the Angels, as Enriquez now has his 3rd strikeout of the game. The score after 2.5 innings, Dodgers trail the Angels 2-0. I'll be right back after this very short break. Okay, so now for the bottom of the third inning, who do the Dodgers have coming up? They will have Freeland, the 9th hitter, and then followed by Ohtani, and then Freeman, and if anybody gets on, Tucker. So those are the first 3, possible 4 hitters the Dodgers will be sending up in the bottom of the third inning, trying to get back into this game. A promotion the Dodgers have coming up against the Rays on Tuesday, June 16th. It'll be Dodgers soccer jersey. So if you're interested in that, getting a Dodgers soccer jersey, the first 40,000 fans in attendance will get that. Anyways, back to live action. End of the plate is Freeland. The pitch swung on and fouled back, a sinker for strike 1. Angels 2, Dodgers 0. Alex Freeland in 42 games hitting .242 with 3 home runs and 13 ribbies. Serrano's fastball misses, so it's now a 1-1 count. Pitch on the way, swung on and missed at a fastball. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Freeland. We're in the bottom of the third. Angels 2, Dodgers nothing. Pitch is fouled away. Freeland going down to his knees took a bite out of him. Fouled it right off of the tip of his right foot. Ouch. And no protection on it. Serrano's now thrown 27 pitches in this game. Windup. The pitch is low for ball 2, a fastball missing. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Pitch on the way, swung on and missed, and down goes Freeland onto a splitter. So that's Serrano's first strikeout of the day. Pitch on the way to Ohtani is taking a sinker low for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes to Ohtani. Serrano waiting. A long delay. Pitch, 1-0 pitch is low. Fastball missing. So 2 balls and 1 strike. No strikes. Check that. 2 balls, no strikes to Ohtani. Angels 2, Dodgers nothing. 1 out in the bottom of the 3rd. There's a line shot over the second baseman Peraza's head and into right field. Picked up by Adell, and Ohtani is aboard. Okay. So now this is going to get interesting here, because coming to the plate will be Freddie Freeman. And the Dodgers' chance to get some runs in this game is going to happen within the next 2 hitters right now. Freddie Freeman hit the walk-off home run against the Angels on Friday night. Waiting up, the pitch is a ground shot past the diving Peraza into right field again. Meanwhile, Ohtani rounds second and goes to third, and up comes Tucker to the plate. So I'll say what no one will tell you. Tucker coming to the plate. He dropped that ball in foul territory, and Tucker's got to be thinking, I got to do something now to make up for that botched foul ball that I should have caught and allowed the Angels to score 2 runs in that top of the 2nd inning. So Tucker can make good on it right now with a shot, bring in some RBIs right now, Tucker. Here you go. That's the great thing about baseball. You can immediately redeem yourself. It took Tucker a couple of innings to get around to that. In his first plate appearance, he grounded out, hitting .239, 5 home runs, and a chance to really redeem himself to Emmitt Smith and the other Dodgers who had to suffer through that 2nd inning. Pitch on the way is outside for ball 1. So Tucker smartly taking not going and trying too hard to get it all back on one pitch, or at least the first pitch. One ball, no strikes. The pitch, there's a little ground nubbler hit up to the first base. In comes Ohtani to score, so Tucker will be out, but that ball was just a little nubber that allowed Shohei to come across and score the run. So Tucker will get an RBI, so we'll credit him there with an RBI. And moving over to second base is Freeman. So very good. Tucker got 1 run back. Now he's got to do something the rest of this game to get another run back. Meanwhile, Max Muncy to the plate, grounded out in his previous plate appearance. 2 outs, top of the 3rd inning. The score, Angels 2, Dodgers 1. There's a pitch splitter taken for called strike 1. Serrano's now thrown 36 pitches. Freeman at second base, 2 outs in the 3rd. There's a splitter that's low, hustling Rivero to get that ball. So very heads-up base running by Shohei. He knew immediately, as soon as that ball was a little nubbler, just barely out of in front of home plate, as soon as the catcher released to go get it, Ohtani was moving in to score. He knew there was no way he was going to be thrown out at the plate once the catcher left. There's a shot hit down to the second baseman, Peraza. This one he handles, throws over to Shanuel, and the Dodgers are done in the third inning, but not before they get one run. So Dodgers get back one run. The score after 3 complete innings, the Angels 2, check that. The Angels 2, Dodgers 1. We move into the top of the 4th inning. And with that, I'll take a little break because I need it. Okay, so the Dodgers are able to push forth a run, get back one run in that bottom of the 3rd inning. And now for the Angels. In the top of the 4th, they'll have right fielder Adell, followed by Madrigal and Surrey. Madrigal had that masterful pitch fouled away after pitch fouled away. I think he was served up 13 pitches by Emmett Sheehan in that top of the 2nd inning. So he'll be hitting second in the top of the 4th inning. Adell will be coming up first. And let's see, are they still going out there with Henriquez? Usually they don't keep him in this long. Let's see. And he is not going to be out there. So they do have. So Blake Treinen will now come in for the Dodgers. So Blake Treinen in 24 games, 18 innings pitched, 18 strikeouts, 7 walks, 2 home runs allowed. And he got the win the other night when Freddie Freeman hit that home run, that walk-off home run. The windup and the pitch to Adell is out. Oh, they called it a strike. That was a sinker. Luckily, the Angels aren't going to contest that. So 0-1 the count to Adell. Treinen looking in. The pitch. Strike 2. Sinker. 0-2 the count now to Adell. Angels 2, Dodgers 1. We're in the top of the 4th inning. Pitch is way outside a sweeper for ball 1. Dodgers, winners of 18 of their last 23 games, trying to keep it going here. Need to come from behind if they're going to win this game. The pitch, there's a ground ball chopper coming up. Hurry, barehand. Oh, he can't get it. Rojas tried to barehand that and throw him out. And Adell moving very quickly down the line. Rojas knew the only chance he had to get him was to barehand it. And he tried it and couldn't come up with it. The other night, with a barehand, he made a spectacular play, going to his right, throwing to his left, and nail the runner at first. But this time, it doesn't happen. So 1 on now. The leadoff guy for the Angels, Adell, is aboard. And up comes Madrigal to the plate. Pitch, oh, he tried to foul it in a sinker, and it may have caught Madrigal on the fingertips there. He's walking away, shaking his hand. And that's what happens when you don't have your hand behind the bat proper. Let's see. Actually, no, that ball never hit him. I don't know where. Yeah, it just fouled off of him, and why he went away shaking like it had hit him, maybe trying to sell it like he had been hit in the hand. So whatever the case is, Madrigal's back in there, and the count is 0-1. 1 on, 1 out, no outs, 0-1 count. He walked on that long stretch last time to Emmett Sheehan. Here's a ball that gets away from Rushing, and now Adell moves over to second base. So now the Angels have a man in scoring position. That ball was just missed by Rushing, and it bounced off of his shin guard and bounced a little further away. So by the time Rushing could run over and get it, Adell was at second base. 1-1. The pitch swung on and missed by Madrigal. One and two pitch on the way. Low outside. A sweeper missing. So Madrigal laid off of that one. He went after the previous pitch and looked very bad in process of doing that. This time he laid off of swinging for it. 2-2 the count. The pitch on the way. Outside for ball 3, a sinker missing. No outs, top of the fourth inning. Angels 2, Dodgers 1. And Adell away from second base for the Angels. 3-2 the count. Treinen, the windup. The pitch is low for ball 4. So Madrigal gets 2 walks in this game. And now with runners at first and second, that brings up Surrey, who also walked in that second inning that took forever. Treinen. There's a bunt laid down nicely. Freeman picks it up, throws over to Freeland covering second base. Runners move over to second and third, and there's 1 out. So Surrey doing a nice job with that sacrifice bunt, moving his runners over. And now the Angels will bring up their catcher, hitting in the 9th slot, Rivero. The pitch on the way is taken for called strike 1. So Rivero, the catcher, 1 for 1, hit that single and got those 2 RBIs in for the Angels when the bases were loaded in the second inning. Now up there with runners in scoring position again, a chance to hurt the Dodgers. The pitch on the way, swung on and fouled back. 0-2 the count now. The 0-2 pitch to Rivero, swung on, lunged for, goes over the head of Freeland. It's going to land, and both runners will score, and now it's going to be 4-1. And Rivero's got all 4 RBIs for the Angels. Can you believe that? A pitch, a swing with a hit ball that would have been a natural, easy catch for Freeland, but because he was playing way up on the grass, he had to go back for it, and it landed on the edge of the outfield grass for a base hit and 2-run score. So now it's 4-1 Angels. The pitch is outside to net throw. A sinker missing for ball 1. Four to 1, Dodgers trail the Angels. Pitch is taken for called strike 1, a sinker. 1-1. Net throw, 0 for 2 in this game. Flew out, he's flied out and struck out. Waiting in. Treinen to the belt. The 1-1 pitch. Oh, down the middle for called strike 2. A sinker. Treinen's now thrown 17 pitches in this inning. Trying to get out of it. 1 out in the 4th. 1 on. The pitch. Swung on and missed. And down goes net throw. So the Dodgers now we're 1 out away from getting out of this inning, but keep in mind 2 runs have already crossed the plate. Now the Dodgers trail 4-1. And Trout coming to the plate. Pitch is way outside, a sweeper for ball 1. 4th inning, 2 outs, 1 on. Angels 4, Dodgers 1. Trout is 0 for 2 with a fly out and a ground out in his previous 2 plate appearances. The pitch on the way is taken for called strike, a sinker. So 1-1 the count. The pitch is high. Fastball missing for ball 2. 2 balls and 1 strike. The 2-1 pitch on the way to Trout. It's a high fly ball hit out to Tucker and right. Battling the sun. He's there. He's got it. Oh, almost came out of his glove. He catches it, tosses it into the crowd, and that'll do it for the Angels in the top of the 4th inning. The score, Angels 4, Dodgers 1. I'll be right back after this short break. So for the Dodgers, coming up in this bottom of the 4th inning, trailing now 4-1 to the Angels, will be Call, Rushing, and Rojas. Call, Rushing, and Ward, check that. And if anybody gets on, it'll be Rojas. Dodgers having a Shaquille O'Neal bobblehead, if you're interested, June 20th versus the Orioles at 7:10 start. The first 40,000 fans in attendance can get a Shaquille O'Neal bobblehead. So back to live action. On the mound, Jose Serrano has only thrown 38 pitches, and we're in the 4th inning. So he's doing really well, keeping the Dodgers in check. The windup, the pitch, there's a ground ball hit sharply down to the shortstop. Net throw, the throw on over to Chanuel in time, and down goes Call. So 1 out, first ball swinging, the Dodgers are in call. And that'll bring up Dalton Rushing, the catcher. 4-1, Dodgers trailing in the bottom of the fourth. 1 out. The pitch is low. Sinker missing. The pitch swung on and fouled away, a fastball. Count is now 1-1. Serrano, the 1-1 pitch. There's a line shot into right field for a base hit. Adell will go and pick it up, and Dalton Rushing rounding first with a base hit. And gives the traditional Freddie Freeman little dance wave, and with 1 out, 1 on, up comes Ryan Ward to the plate. Angels 4, Dodgers 1. Angels jumped out to a 2-0 lead in the top of the second inning. Dodgers got 1 in the bottom of the third, and Angels came back with 2 more in the top of the fourth. And that's where we're at now. There's a shot hit down to third baseman. He'll glove it, throw over to shortstop, net throw for 1, over to first for the double play, and down go the Dodgers. The double play victims again, and the score after 4 complete innings, the Angels 4, the Dodgers 1. I'll be right back after this. Okay, back to live action here for the Dodgers. And coming up for the Angels will be Meckler, followed by Peraza, and then Chanuel, the first baseman. And for the Dodgers on the mound will be Alex Vesia. In 27 games, he's 1-1 record, 28 strikeouts, 10 walks, has not allowed a home run. So the hard-throwing left-hander will now come in. This game's basically turned into a bullpen game after Emmett Sheehan got run in the top of the second inning. Pitch on the way is taking a slider for ball 1. So Emmett only went 1 1/3 innings, had a couple of bad luck breaks in that top of the second inning. The Angels got 2 runs, and Roberts came out and gave him the quick hook. Pitch on the way is way inside for ball 2. Two balls, no strikes to Vesia. Pitch on the way is low for ball 3. So Emmett Sheehan gave up 2 runs. Blake Trinan came in the 4th inning, and he gave up 2 runs. Now we find ourselves in the 5th, and Vesia's got us back to the wall, a 3-0 count, and that's going to miss it. 4 pitches. Dodgers aren't going to challenge it, and he's aboard. So with Meckler on first base and no outs in the top of the 5th inning, up comes second baseman Peraza. Oswald Peraza 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. Vesia waiting in. The pitch is high for ball 1, a slider. 5 straight balls. Meanwhile, Peraza check it in. 5'11", 200-pounder from Venezuela waiting in from the right-hand side of the plate. The pitch swung on and fouled back. Fastball. So the count is 1-1. And finally, Vesia has his first strike. Top of the 5th, no outs, 1 on. Dodgers trailing the Angels 4-1. Dodgers trying to take this game and sweep all 6 games from the Angels. The pitch on the way swung on and missed. Changeup. Last year, the Angels swept the Dodgers in their 6 meetings. Dodgers trying to return the favor this year and now find themselves 3 runs down in the 5th. Vesia looking in. The windup, the 1-2 pitch is way high. Fastball missing, and the count is now 2-2. Peraza 0 for 2, striking out in his previous plate appearances, is 1 strike away from striking out 3 times. Vesia looks down. The pitch low, a changeup missing. So the count is now full. So let's see if the Dodgers can at least, if not strike out Peraza, shoot 2 and return the favor and get a double play here. Pitch on the way, swung on and missed, and down goes Peraza for the 3rd straight time today. Has struck out 3 times. That'll be Vesia. So Vesia striking him out. So we're in the 5th, 1 out now, 1 on. The pitch on the way is a ball to Nolan Schanuel, who also has struck out 2 times. Let's see if Vesia can ring him up, just as he did to Peraza. The windup, the pitch, strike, fastball. So 1 on, 1 out, 1-1 count. Angels 4, Dodgers 1. Vesia look it in. Now throw over to first base, make sure that runner isn't going anywhere. Meckler taking a short lead away from first. The windup, the 1-1 pitch is taken for called strike 2, a slider. So Schanuel is 1 strike away from striking out 3 times, just like Peraza. Vesia looking in, and the 1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed, and that'll do it. 3 strikeouts for Schanuel. And now there's 2 outs in this top of the 5th inning. Vesia now jumping up and down in excitement, starting to feel it. 2 outs in the top of the 5th inning, 1 on. Angels 4, Dodgers 1. So if the Dodgers can get out of this inning unscathed, let's see, the windup. The pitch, it's a high foul ball. Adell at the plate. Jo Adell is 2 for 2. 2 singles, 2 runs. Waiting in from the right-hand side of the plate. And the 0-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. Changeup. Okay. So 0-2 now the count to Adell. There we go. 0-2 count. Vesia to the windup. The pitch swung on and fouled back and out of play. Meckler will head on back over to first base on that foul ball. He was on the move. 2 outs, top of the 5th inning. Peraza and Chanuel striking out back to back. Vesia's got Adell on the ropes. The pitch, low. A changeup missing for ball 1. So Vesia's 1 strike away from striking out the side and getting out of the 5th inning. Let's see what he's going to do. The pitch, there's a ground ball hit sharply down to a second, past second base, and picked up by Tucker, meaning rounding second and heading on over to third is Meckler, and now there's runners on the corners. Okay, so Jo Adell is now 3 for 3. Has 3 singles in this game. And that'll bring up Madrigal. So this is when it all started going wrong for the Dodgers in the 2nd inning, when Elliott Sheehan threw a whole lot of pitches trying to get out Madrigal. He kept fouling him off one after another. One of those foul balls went over to Tucker in right field in foul territory. Tucker dropped it. Madrigal battled out for the walk, and then up came, with the bases loaded, there was another bad call missed by the umpires and a check swing that was caught. That should have been out number 3. Meanwhile, Rivero comes up, hits a base hit, 2-run score, 2-0. Elliott Sheehan is chased, and Dodgers trailed 2-0 at that time, and that was all in the 2nd inning. Here's the windup. The pitch is fouled back, a fastball. So now it's 0-2. As Vesia now gets another ball, rubbing it up behind home plate, behind the pitcher's mound. 0-2 the count to Madrigal, who's got 2 walks, 2 runs, waiting in for the right-hand side of the plate. Now go after him and get him out of here. Vesia, the pitch, way outside. Fastball missing, ball 1. 2 on, 2 outs, runners on the corners. Angels 4, Dodgers 1. We're in the 5th inning. Madrigal. Let's go, Vesia. Blow him out right now. Low, change up. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Angels have 6 hits in this game and 4 runs. Dodgers have 6 hits, but only 1 run. Vesia's 2-2 pitch swung on and fouled back. So Madrigal doing the same stunt he pulled against Sheehan in the 2nd inning, fouling off pitch after pitch. Dodgers should send him a bill for all these balls that he's fouling off. Meanwhile, second, 2 outs, fifth inning, 2 on. The 2-2 count on the way. Swung on and fouled away again. So Madrigal has become the king of foul balls here. And making the pitchers work. Okay, Vesia now back up on the mound. Looking down. Runner at third in Meckler. Runner at first in Adell. 2-2 pitch. Swung on. There's a little foul nibble around the third base line. So Madrigal hanging tough. 2 walks, 2 runs. The count is 2-2 to Madrigal. 2 on, 2 outs. We're in the 5th inning. Angels 4, Dodgers 1. Let's see what Vesia is going to do now. Come after him. Swung on and fouled away again. In this at-bat, Madrigal, 5 fouls, total of 8 pitches. Last time when he faced Sheehan, he made Sheehan pitch 14 pitches to him. He eventually walked. The pitch is taken for strike 3, and Madrigal's holding up to tap into his head, wanting for a recall. He might win this recall. Let's see what they're going to do with it. They're saying, was it a check swing that got him, or was it a strikeout? They're challenging it. Rushing is stating his case at the plate. The Angels' challenge will win that, but I thought they had said he had gone around on it. It was the call was no doubt, it was out of the strike zone, but I thought they were saying that he went halfway around. That's how he struck out. Not that the ball was in the strike zone, but nonetheless, Angels will win that challenge. It'll be 3 balls and 2 strikes, and Madrigal's back up on the plate again for yet another chance. See, it looked like he went all the way around, and that was what Dalton Rushing was contesting, that he had gone past the plate. First base umpire was asleep at the switch and missed it. 3-2 count, the foul ball, a slider. So Madrigal now has the count 3-2, has fouled already more than, this is coming up his 11th pitch that he's getting. And he did the same thing to Sheehan in the 2nd inning. 3-2 the count to Madrigal. 2 men on. 2 outs in the 5th. Vesia's wind up the pitch. Swung on and fouled away again. Vesia has now thrown 30 pitches in this inning. Madrigal has total of 7 fouls and 11 pitches. So he'll get his 12th pitch coming up right now. He took 14 pitches from Sheehan. And now he's taking 11 from Vesia. The pitch, his 12th actually, is low and inside for ball 4. And can you believe that? He's done it not once, he did it again twice. He's got 3 walks. Angels have they have Peraza with 3 strikeouts, Shanuel with 3 strikeouts, Adell with 3 hits, and Madrigal with 3 walks. And the Angels got 4 runs, and out comes Dave Roberts with a hook. And Vesia will leave with the bases loaded, 2 outs in the 5th inning. So, a tough outing for Vesia. And that'll now bring up, going to the bullpen. Who's coming in? Not saying. Let's see what they got here. So the Dodgers, they've had Sheehan, Henriquez, Trinan, Vesia, and now Hernandez is coming in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pitchers. And Vesia leaves, allowing 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, allowed a hit, bases loaded are all responsibility of him. And in comes Hernandez now to face Surrey, the center fielder. So the Dodgers should really be thankful they're only down 4-1 with all the walks that they've given up. But on the other hand, the Angels should be very thankful with all the hits the Dodgers have. 6 hits, they only have 1 run. Angels 4 runs, 6 hits. Dodgers 1 run, 6 hits. So if you looked at the hit total, but then you look at all the walks the Dodgers have given up to the Angels, you'd think that the game should be a lot more skewed in the Angels' favor, but then the Dodgers only got 1 run on 6 hits. Anyways, with the bases loaded and 2 outs, Jose Surrey comes in. He's walked and sacrificed bunt in his previous plate appearances. With the bases loaded, the pitch is outside, sinker missing for ball 1. Four to 1, Angels lead in the top of the 5th inning, but they got the bases loaded now, and there's 2 outs. The pitch, outside again, ball 2. So Vesia jumped out to an 0-2 lead on Madrigal. There's a strike finally getting in. Let's see if Hernandez can turn this around. Vesia had Madrigal 0-2, wound up pitching 12 pitches to him and eventually walked him. Now Hernandez has a 2-1 count to Surrey. The pitch was a swing and a miss, and now the count is 2-2. Surrey falling to his knees on that one. And he's still down. Let's see what happened to him. The pitch swung, and it hit him on the right ankle, or the left ankle actually hit off Hernandez. Surrey. So Hernandez once again up on the mound. 2-2 count to Surrey. The pitch is low for ball 3, a slider missing. And now he's 1 ball away from walking in a run, 1 strike from getting out of this inning. What you going to do with it, Hernandez? Top of the 5th inning, 2 outs, 4-1 Angels. The pitch on the way, swung on and missed. Oh, no, hold on. Swung on foul ball along the left field line. So Surrey's still up there, trying to forget about the pain that he just took on the inside part of his left ankle. 3-2 pitch. Swung on and a high fly ball moving over in center field. Back goes Freeland. It'll drop, and the Angels will score 2 more runs. Adele comes home. Here's a throw to the plate. They're going to nail the man to the plate, trying to come in. What was he doing? I don't know what he was thinking. As Surrey, but that's well after the Angels score one more actually. So they only got 1 more run on that. The man that they threw out was trying to come home from second. So the score after 4.5, Angels 6, Dodgers 1. Check that, they did get 2 runs. So my bad, the Angels got 2 in that inning. And the guy trying to score was thrown out at the plate. He was trying to come from first base on that little nubber. So anyways, after 4.5, the score is Angels 6, Dodgers 1. Angels 6 runs on 7 hits. Dodgers 1 run on 6 hits. And with that, I'm going to take a short break and be right back. Okay, so Dodgers are just being picked away by twos. 2 runs they gave up in the second inning, 2 in the fourth, 2 in the fifth. And that's how the Angels now wound up with 6 runs. And now comes to the plate, Rojas. Pitch is taken outside for ball 1. Bottom of the 5th inning, Angels 6, Dodgers 1. But I'm not giving up on the Dodgers yet. I've been around baseball too long to know anything's possible. Let's go. It's got to start right now. Meanwhile, for Serrano, he has pitched really well. He's only pitched 14 pitches, so he's not tired at all, and he's got plenty of run support. Next pitch is outside, a splitter missing for ball 2. Waiting on deck is Freeland. Rojas grounded out in his previous plate appearance. The pitch is low. The check over at first base, no swing. And now it's 3 balls and no strikes. The 3-0 pitch is low, and they're going to call it a strike. Rojas was reaching down to take off the strap protector off of his left leg, and umpire said, nope, not so fast, my friend. 3-1 the count. Serrano waiting, and pitch is now taken way inside for ball 4, and the leadoff man for the Dodgers is aboard in Rojas, and that'll bring up the second baseman, Alex Freeland, to the plate. Angels 6, Dodgers 1. And the line for the Angels, 6 runs, 7 hits. They have talk about getting the maximum out of the minimum. They've certainly done that this afternoon. Meanwhile, Freeland 0 for 1 with a strikeout to the plate. Dodgers 1 run on 6 hits. Bottom of the 5th, 1 on for the Dodgers. No outs. The pitch is way inside. Fastball missing for ball 1. Shohei Ohtani waiting on deck. Let's see if Freeland can get aboard here, and pitch is taken for called knuckle curve, strike 1. If Freeland can get aboard, put Shohei in a position to drive them all home with a home run, and Dodgers will be suddenly back in it in a hurry. Let's see what you're going to do. 1-1 pitch is low for ball 2. Splitter missing. So Soriano's now thrown 51 pitches, and we're in the 5th inning. Swung on and fouled back. Its count is now 2-2. Shohei waiting on deck. Dodgers trailing 6-1 to the Angels in the bottom of the 5th inning. Away from first is Rojas. Freeland with a 2-2 count. The pitch swung on and fouled away. Knuckle curve. So the Dodgers have thrown 5 pitchers out there this afternoon. Collectively, they've given up 6 runs. 2-2 pitch is low. Check that. Wait a minute. He struck him out. Oh, my. So that pitch looked like it was totally out. It must be that, and it was, a check swing by Freeland and went all the way. They felt a little too far around, and that's how that was. So 1 out now. 1 out, 1 on. Shohei coming up. 1 for 2 with a single and a run. Shohei has worn out his former team in the times he's faced them. Let's see if he can wear him out a little bit more here. Waiting in for the left-hand side of the plate. The pitch swung on and fouled a splitter. Fouled down the first baseline. Since May 12th, in 22 games, Shohei's hit .420 with 5 home runs and 19 ribbies. A .741 slugging percentage leads the major league. So Shohei, since May 12th, has started to turn the corner, and his batting average overall has started to incline as well. So let's see if he can continue that trend right now. The pitch is taken for called strike 2. So Shohei putting up some Babe Ruth type of numbers. Seems like just about every time he goes out there, there's some big comparison to the Babe. 0-2 pitch on the way is low. Knuckle curve for ball 1, low and away. So 1-2 now the count to Shohei. Serrano looking in. Angels 6, Dodgers 1, but the Dodgers got a man on, 1 out in the bottom of the 5th. And Shohei to the plate. Freddie Freeman waiting on deck. Pitch on the way is way inside and low. Splitter missing. It's 2-2 count. Serrano's now thrown 58 pitches. Needing to get 2 more outs to be the pitcher of record in this game, at least for a win. The pitch on the way is a shot hit into right field. Diving is Adell with a nice catch to get Ohtani out. So Adell has made some spectacular catches out in the outfield this season. However, he did have that one bounce off of his glove and then his head for a home run last week. But overall, he's really been spectacular with a glove out there in right field for the Angels. So now there's 2 outs. Serrano gives him a tip of the cap from the mound. And Freddie Freeman coming in. The pitch on the way is way outside for ball 1. Kyle Tucker waiting on deck. Dodgers still aren't dead yet with Freddie Freeman to the plate. The pitch low and away for ball 2. Freddie Freeman today is 2 for 2 with 2 singles. Hitting .284 overall average this year. Pitch swung on, a line shot down to Protz at second. He'll glove it, throw it over to Chanuel at first, and down go the Dodgers. The end of 5 complete innings in Los Angeles. The Angels 6, the Dodgers 1. I'll be right back after this very short break. Okay, so for the Angels, in the top of the sixth inning, they'll have the catcher Rivero, that's the ninth spot, and then they go to the top of the order with Netro and then Trout, who's DHing today. Let's see if the Dodgers are sticking with Hernandez on the mound. And it looks like they are. Okay. So the Dodgers have thrown 5 pitchers out there today, and it's 6 runs for the Angels on 7 hits. Let's add up the walks these Angels have gotten from the Dodgers today. That'll be something to. They've gotten. Let's see. Dodgers have struck out 5, 6, 7, 8, but on the walk, they've given up 2, 4, 5 walks. Okay, so it doesn't seem as bad as what it looked like as the game was going on. So 5 walks and struck out 8. And the pitch on the way is a first ball line drive base hit. So Rivero gets a base hit. Sebastian Rivero. First 67 games, 8 RBIs. Today he has 4 RBIs. So Venezuela, pride of Venezuela, Rivero, the 6'1", 210-pounder, has 4 ribbies in the game today, replacing Hop. And the pitch is now 0-2 to Netro. So definitely the star of this game is Rivero. 4 RBIs and 3 hits. Meanwhile, Hernandez has Netro on the ropes, 0-2. Let's see if he can go after him and get him. Pitch is high and in tight for a fastball 1. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Netro is aboard safely at first. 6-1 Angels in the 6th inning. The 1-2 pitch is low and away. A slider missing for 2-2. The 2-2 pitch to Netro is, hit takes a chunk out of his leg and he falls down. So he'll dust himself up and get back up there. 2-2 the count. To Netro. Rivero away from first base. The 2-2 pitch. Swung on and missed, and down he goes. So Netro is done. That'll be the 9th strikeout for the Dodgers. Roki the other night struck out 10 all by himself. The Dodgers collectively, but we're only in the 6th inning, have struck out 9 Angels. Trout now to the plate. The pitch, just a little outside for ball 1. Unfortunately for Roki, he didn't get the win on that 10 strikeout game. There's a line shot down to the second baseman, Rojas, shortstop Rojas. So there's 1 out as he was almost going to throw to first to shoot 2 and get the double play, but back to first base in time was Rivero. So with 1 out, 2 outs, now the Angels will send up Meckler. Meckler swinging from the left-hand side of the plate. The pitch is right down the middle of the plate for strike one. Wade Meckler, 1 for 2 with a double, a walk, and a run scored. Hernandez, the pitch is low for ball one. 1 ball, 1 strike. Meckler, 5'9", 190-pounder out of Anaheim. There's a ground shot. Oh, nice play by Freeland catching that ball. It was actually a line drive, and down go the Angels. And the Dodgers get out of it, not allowing any runs. So the score at the end of 5.5, we now move into the bottom of the 6th inning. Angels 6, Dodgers 1. And up for the Dodgers coming up will be, let's see, who's coming up? Tucker, Muncy, and Call. After today's game, the Dodgers will have tomorrow off. It'll be a travel day. They'll head on over to Pittsburgh, play Pittsburgh Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. 3-game homestand in Pittsburgh. And then after that 3-game homestand, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, they'll be in Chicago taking on the Chicago White Sox. And then they return home to take on the Tampa Bay Rays on a 3-game homestand. But so that's a quick look at what the Dodgers will be doing in the upcoming week and beyond. But for right now, they're trying to get home some runs and make this thing interesting. But Serrano has got them in check with his pitching performance. Take a look at what Serrano's line is in this game. In Serrano's 5 innings of work, he's allowed 1 run, 1 walk, and 2 strikeouts. So he hasn't been overwhelmingly muscling him. Just the Dodgers have gotten some hits off him, gotten 6 hits off of him, but only 1 run. Okay, back to live action. Tucker's pitch is outside for ball 1. So Tucker trying to redeem himself after dropping that ball, but I think we're well beyond that now. The Dodgers as a team collectively, it's just not a 2-1 score. It's a 6-1 score. And the count is now 2-0. The 2-0 pitch is taken for called strike 1, a sinker. The Angels got 2 in the top of the 2nd, 2 in the 4th, 2 in the 5th, and that's how they got their 6 runs. Dodgers only getting their lone run in the bottom of the 3rd. The pitch is taken for called strike 2, a curveball, a knuckle curve. So 2-2 to Tucker. We're in the 6th inning in Dodger Stadium. The 2-2 pitch, way outside, ball 3, a splitter missing badly. Serrano's 68th pitch, 3-2 pitches low and in the dirt, and Tucker's aboard with a walk. Okay, So now, with Tucker aboard, for the Dodgers now coming to the plate will be Muncy. Muncy 0 for 2. Let's see if he can get to Serrano now. Tucker away from first. Muncy to the plate, and it'll take, they're going to call that a strike, a knuckle curve, for strike one. The 0-1 pitch swung on, and a high fly ball hit out there to left field. Meckler's waiting. He'll catch it and throw it in, and back to first base goes Tucker. So 1 out for the Dodgers in the 6th. And that'll bring up Alex Call. Call involved in this game early, hustling down the first baseline, being safe on a hustle play. Pitch is away. They're going to look over at first base. So it's ball one. 1 ball, no strikes. Serrano's 72nd pitch is swung on by Call and fouled away. Pitch on the way, swung on and missed. 1-2. Call waiting in, 1 for 2 in the afternoon. 1-2 count. The pitch swung on, a ground ball hit sharply to shortstop. He'll throw over to first base wildly, and 2 runners on. So he easily could have touched the bag at second and chose not to with net throw. Instead, he threw it into the dugout, and Tucker's now at third, moving over to third. So that was an interesting play by Netthrow. In haste, threw wildly to first. It went in. He did not even touch, because Peraza was in his way. He couldn't get to second base. Just a little comedy of errors there for the Angels, and the Dodgers now have 2 men on. So runners on third and second. That'll bring up Rushing to the plate. 1 out in the 6th. So this is a good chance right now for the Dodgers to get some type of runs. They got to score some runs in this inning. You cannot afford to come out of here with no runs in this inning. Trailing 6-1. Rushing waiting in from the left-hand side of the plate. Serrano's now thrown 74 pitches. The pitch swung on and missed. A splitter. Strike 1. So Turner at third. One out for the Dodgers. The 0-1 pitch. Foul ball. Call is at second base. Turner is at third. Angels getting an error, throw-in error by Netthrow, allowing Call to get on base. And the 0-2 pitch to Rushing awaits. The pitch in the dirt as the count is now 1-2. Serrano hustling in to cover home plate in case that got away from Rivero, but it did not. One and two, the count to Rushing. 6-1, Angels lead in the sixth inning, but the Dodgers got 2 on, 1 out, bottom of the sixth, Rushing to the plate. Pitch. There's a high fly ball hit to deep right field. Back goes Dell. It's gone. And just like that, Dalton Rushing bangs home 3 runs. And the home run gong is alive and well. And the Dodgers score 3 runs on that shot. That is now a 6-4 game. As Dalton Rushing rounding third base scoring. That was a 372-foot home run. And it's a 6-4, Dodgers trailing now. And very much in this game as Miguel Rojas is on deck. But before Rojas will be Ward. Ryan Ward will be coming up. So just like that, like I say, if you hang around, you'll have that opportunity. And the Dodgers finally take advantage of it. Rushing getting the sunflower seed shower as he comes in. That'll be his 8th home run this season. First home run since April 20th. So now, what are the Angels going to do? They're trying to see if that was spectator interference, and indeed it wasn't, because that ball had already bounced on the top of the wall by the time the fan had reached over and got it, and there was no interference, and it'll hold up to be a 3-run home run. And Adell trying to plead his case, but to no avail. As they look at this, once again, Dalton Rushing already back into the dugout, putting on his shin guards. Serrano's on his 78th pitch. It winds up in the right field pavilion. So, umpire just confirming what we already told you. The home run is good. So 6-4. Dodgers trail by 2 now in the 6th inning with only 1 out still. And Ryan Ward will now come to the plate, followed by Rojas and then Freeland. So let's see what Ward's going to do now. Serrano's 79th pitch is taken for called strike 1, a splitter. So as we looked back on Tucker dropping that foul ball, you can now look back on what the Angels did and not getting. There's a swing and a miss there by Ward. Angels being their own victim when that ball was hit to the shortstop net throw. Peraza was in his way, so he chose not to step on the plate, getting Tucker out. Instead, he threw wildly to first. Here's a high fly ball hit to deep right field. It is gone. The second home run for the Dodgers in this inning. And just like that, the Dodgers now trail 6-5 on a home run by Ryan Ward. And the Dodgers have certainly made this thing interesting. That traveling 397 feet into the pavilion. Dodgers now trail 6-5, scoring 4 runs in this inning. Can you believe it? As I said earlier, I was trying to make the point, Nitro failing to turn that double play has now cost the Angels dearly. They could be out of this inning. And Miguel Rojas hits a high fly ball foul in left field. So if Peraza's not in the way of net throw, The Angels turn that double play. Net throw one's over, touches second, gets out Tucker, throws over to first, and down go the Dodgers in that inning quietly enough. Instead, the air keeps them alive, and look where we're at now. A 3-run homer by Rushing, a solo homer by Ward, and Miguel Rojas is up there now with 1 out in the 6th inning. Pitch on the way is low and outside for ball 1. Knuckle curve missing. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Dodgers, 2 home runs in this inning. Coming alive late in this 6th inning, in this game. Scoring only 1 run in the 3rd and a big 4 runs in the bottom of the 6th. Meanwhile, the Angels are scrambling in the bullpen trying to get someone up. Pitch on the way is a lunge for blooper. It'll go to Chanuel in foul territory for out number 2. So Rojas is done. And that'll bring up Freeland coming up. And this all started with the throwing error by Nethro, allowing Call to get safely aboard. Runners were on the corners. They moved Call over to second and third. And then Rushing hit that 3-run home run. How fortunate were the Dodgers that that ball was not turned into a double play. Here's the pitch on the way, is taken for called strike 1. Meanwhile, Serrano's now thrown 86 pitches in this game. His 87th pitch about to come right now to Freeland. 0-1 the count to Freeland. The pitch is a bounce, is up to the plate. Knuckle curve for ball 1. Angels 6, Dodgers 5 on 2 home runs in this inning. A 3-run shot by Dalton Rushing and a solo by Ryan Ward. Here's a pitch. There's a shot into left field, but waiting there's Meckler for the 3rd out. So down go the Dodgers in the 6th, but not until they score 4 runs and get this game very close, trailing Angels by 1 run. Angels 6, Dodgers 5. So I had commented earlier how the Dodgers only had 1 run on 6 hits. Now they've got 5 runs on 8 hits. I'll be right back after this very short break. Okay, back to live action in Dodger Stadium. The pitch on the way from Hernandez is a slider for strike 1. Next pitch swung on and a foul ball for 0-2 count now. Peraza has struck out 3 times. Now on the verge of striking out a 4th time. Let's see if Hernandez can blow one past him right here. The 0-2 pitch to Peraza is inside, just missing for ball one. Shanuel up next, waiting on deck. He struck out 3 times. So it's a battle right now to see if these two guys can strike out 4 times each. Here's a pitch. There's a high fly ball. He won't strike out this time. Back in center field to make the catch is Call, and there's 1 out in the 7th inning. So, top of the 7th inning, Angels 6, Dodgers 5. 1 out for the Angels. And up comes Shanuel. Shanuel is in 3 plate appearances, has struck out 3 times. Let's see if he'll strike out a 4th time. Hernandez looks in. The pitch is low and inside for ball 1, a sinker. So for the Dodgers in the bottom of the 7th, they'll have the top of the order with Ohtani Freeman coming to the plate. But first, they got to get through this inning unscathed. The pitch on the way is a sinker, missing for ball 2. Shanuel waiting in. Hernandez looks down, gets the sign from Rushing. The 2-1 pitch is low for ball 3, a slider missing. So Dalton Rushing behind the plate with that big 3-run shot, getting the Dodgers closer, and then Ryan Ward hits a solo home run to make it even closer. 6-5, and that's where we're at right now in the top of the 7th inning. The pitch, the windup is taken outside for ball 4, and Shanuel's aboard. So up comes Jo Adell. He had to chase both of those shots by Rushing and Ward all the way to the warning track and have it go over his head into the pavilion. Here's a pitch, a high fly ball hit by Adell. Back goes Ward, and it's gone. A 2-run home run by Jo Adell. Can you believe that? So, Jo Adell living the dream. As he rounds the bases on that 2-run home run, the Dodgers got closer. That ball went 433 feet into the upper deck, into the pavilion. And now the Dodgers trail 8-5. There was no doubt about that one. Okay, back to live action. Pitch on the way is to Madrigal, is taken for a strike 1. Pitch is high and away, 97-mile-an-hour fastball missing, so 1-1. Keep in mind, the Dodgers in the bottom of the 7th have the top of the order with Ohtani, Freeman, and Tucker. But like I said, they got to get out of this inning. There's a pitch, it's a ground ball into center field for a base hit. And Hernandez has now thrown 32 pitches. And for the Angels, Surrey coming to the plate. Pitch on the way is way outside. Changeup missing badly for ball 1. Angels 8, Dodgers 5. 2-run home run by Jo Adell into the left field pavilion has given the Angels a little bit of a cushion. There's a ground shot down to the shortstop and through into left field. Picked up by Ward, and the Angels now have 2 men on. And Hernandez may be tiring. Let's see if they're going to come and get him with a hook here. He's starting to get a little ragged at the edges here. Walking a man, a single here, home run there. Let's see what you're going to do, Roberts. He's still, no one's coming to the mound to talk to him at least. And Rivero coming to the plate, a man who's already got 4 RBIs in this game. Now has 2 more men aboard. The pitch is way outside for ball 1. So Hernandez finds himself in a little bit of a trouble here. Already allowed a 2-run home run, has 1 out, 2 on, and Rivero to the plate. 3 for 3 with 4 ribbies. The pitch swung on and fouled away. 1 ball, 1 strike. So for the Dodgers, they have 2 home runs, one by a 3-run shot by Dalton Rushing, followed by a solo home run by Ryan Ward. And Joe Adell just popped one out of here. Answering your question there, made of fishing. 3 home runs. And that's where we're at, 8-5 right now. One and 2 the count to Rivero. 2 on. Hernandez has thrown 37 pitches. The pitch swung on. There's a line base hit into right field, picked up by Tucker, rounding third and scoring. And now it'll be 9-5. And Rivero has a 4 for 4 game. Can you believe that? Filling in for Hop, just giving Hop a day off, and Rivero suddenly turned into Mickey Mantle at the plate, driving in runs after runs and 5 RBIs, 4 hits. He's wearing the Dodgers out. And now runners are on the corners. Third base and first base. 1 out in the 7th, and still no action from Roberts or any of the Dodgers to go and get Hernandez out of here. Dodgers have already used 5 pitchers in this game. Here's a pitch. Here's a high fly ball. Hit the dead center field. Back goes call to the wall. Gone. Can you believe that? A 3-run home run, and the Angels are cruising now. Oh, my. Zach Nitro killed him on that. So there's another home run made of fish. You wondered who got him? There's another one. Add that to the list. And the score is now Angels 12, Dodgers 5. That was a 404 home run hit to dead center field. And I could see the Dodgers fans peeling out of here now to beat the traffic. A solid 12 spot, a dozen put up there. And still no action. I told you Hernandez is just left out there to sink or swim, and he's sinking now. No movement at all from the Dodgers, and now suddenly they come with a hook and get him. But when this game, the Dodgers had it 6-5. They were there, and they let up 6 runs in this inning, and still only 1 out. Timeout as Dave Roberts has gone to the mound to take out Hernandez. Who's coming in? They're going to Jack Dreyer. That's who they're going to. So Jack Dreyer will be the 6th pitcher for the Dodgers today. I guess that's par for the course. And with so much hope the Dodgers had, only down by 1, coming up with Shohei and Freeman and Tucker to start the bottom of the 7th. And this happened. 6 runs happen. It happens, it always happens when you least expect it. It looked like a classic Dodger comeback and snatching defeat to victory, But this game's not over. But when you are this late in the game and you battle and scrape and crawl to get back in it, only to have the Angels come up with, after you scored 4 runs, have them answer with 6, that is a heartbreaker indeed. So the Angels got 12 runs on 13 hits and 1 error that cost them dearly on the Dodger side. Jack Dreyer now coming in. 23 games he's pitching in. 24 innings, 24.2 innings with 25 strikeouts, 6 walks. He's allowed 3 home runs. The left-hander will come in now and face Mike Trout as Nethro cleared the bases. With a strike. So 0-1. The pitch is now a curveball for 0-2. Now I can hear the second guessers now. If Dreyer gets these next 2 guys out right away, you'd say, well, why didn't Roberts pull him earlier? Well, that's second guessing, but I had wondered it when it was already before the 3-run home run. There's a swing on and miss, and down goes Trout. So Dreyer trying to restore action here, but maybe the damage has already been done too much as the Angels now lead 12-5. Roberts just sitting there in stony silence. We're in the 7th inning, 2 outs for the Angels. And the floodgates have been opened up. And up comes Meckler, hitting from the left-hand side of the plate. The pitch is taken for called strike 1. Meckler out of Anaheim, California, up to the plate with his glasses and mustache. Looks like a college professor. Standing 5'9", 185 pounds, takes ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike to Meckler. Dreyer gets the sign from Rushing. And the pitch on the way. Swung on. There's a little ground ball hit sharply to Freeland. Fields it cleanly, and just like that, throws it over to Freeman, and they're out of the inning. But not until the Angels score 6 runs. And the score now, Angels 12, Dodgers 5. Can you believe that? So we'll be back with Shohei, Freeman, and Tucker, the first 3 hitters coming up in the bottom of the 7th inning. Okay, so the Dodgers now will bring up Shohei in the bottom of the 7th, followed by Freddie Freeman and Kyle Tucker. This game has pretty much been a cat and mouse game. The Dodgers spotted the Angels with 2 runs. It was 2-0. Angels scored in the top of the 2nd inning. Dodgers came back in the bottom of the 3rd, got 1 run, making it 2-1. And then right away in that next inning, the top of the 4th, the Angels scored 2 runs, making it 4-1. Then they got 2 more, making it 6-1. Dodgers scored 4 in the bottom of the 6th, making it 6-5. And then the Angels, boom, come up with 6 runs in the 7th. And that's where we're at. First pitch to Ohtani is taken outside for ball 1. So Just as you thought the Dodgers were going to come back and snatch this game from them with a 6-5 trailing, Angels score 6. Next pitch on the way to Ohtani, swung on and missed. So that's strike one, 1-1. And that's where we're at now. Angels 12 runs on 13 hits and 1 error. Dodgers 6 runs on 8 hits and no errors. The pitch on the way to Ohtani, swung on and fouled back. Check that. Dodgers got 5 runs and 9 hits. So if you're looking at the hit board, Dodgers only have 4 less hits than the Angels, but 7 less runs on the scoreboard. 1-2 the count to Ohtani. The pitch on the way is a check swing down to third base, gloved quickly by Walton. Throws way too late the throw over to first base, and Ohtani's aboard. So Walton making a nice diving stop. Meanwhile, Pomerantz is in, pitching for the Angels, relieving now Serrano. And a nice play by Walton to glove it. Picked up himself from and threw quickly, but it was much too late to get the hustling Shohei Ohtani down first baseline. Okay, Freddie Freeman now coming up. 1 on, no outs. We're in the bottom of the 7th inning. Angels 12, Dodgers 5. The pitch swung on and fouled back. Freddie Freeman, 2 for 3 with 2 singles in this game. The 0-1 pitch. Knuckle curve misses for ball 1. One ball, 1 strike. Shohei away from first. There's a foul ball back out of play. 1-2 the count. One and two to Freeman. Pomerantz on the mound. Checks Ohtani at first. And the pitch on the way is outside for ball 2. No outs, 7th inning. And the 2-2 pitch on the way is a knuckle curve for ball 3. Freddie Freeman, 2,497 career hits, leads active players. Pitch on the way, swung on, and a high fly ball, and they're waiting for it in left field coming up. It will make the catch, will be Meckler, and Ohtani goes back to first base. So 1 out for the Dodgers, and up comes Kyle Tucker. Tucker's been busy in this game. Aside from dropping that foul ball early in the game in the 2nd inning, he's managed to get home a RBI and score a run himself. So he's been very active. Pitch on the way is outside. No, check that for strike 1. Fastball. And now the batter will challenge it. I thought that ball was ball all the way, and indeed it is a ball all the way. Good eye by Tucker. So they'll reverse that from a strike to a ball. Call overturned. Pomerantz waiting. The pitch on the way is taken for called strike 1. One ball, 1 strike, 1 out in the 7th. Pitch is outside, ball 2. Ohtani at first base. And the 2-1 pitch to Tucker swung on and missed. Fastball, 2-2. Pomeranz to the belt, checks Ohtani at first. The pitch is taken for called strike 3, and down goes Tucker. So 2 outs now, and Tucker will ask for an appeal on this. Dodgers challenge, and it is indeed way outside for ball 3. So Tucker's still not dead yet. Hanging in there. 3-2 the count now to Tucker. Angels 12, Dodgers 5. 7th inning, 1 out, 1 on. Dodgers trying to get something started here. The pitch on the way is swung on and fouled back and out of play. So 12-5. 3-2 count to Tucker. Pitch on the way, swung on and missed, and down goes Tucker. So now there's 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th inning. Ohtani still at first base. And that'll bring up Max Muncy to the plate. Pomeranz checks Ohtani at first. The throw, the pitch is fouled away, out of play. Count now is 0-1. We're in the 7th. 2 outs, 1 on. 12-5, Angels lead. The pitch is low. They're going to check over it, check for a swing. No swing. So now it'll be 1-1 count. The pitch on the way. There's a shot hit to center field. Up comes, it'll fall in front of Surrey. And now there's 2 men aboard. Ohtani stops at second base. Muncy's at first. And Dodgers trying to come back and make something of this game. Up comes Call to the plate. And the Angels will now have the manager Suzuki come out with a hook, take out Pomeranz, and we're in the middle of an Angel pitching change. So there's a timeout here at Dodger Stadium. The score, Angels 12, Dodgers 5. But the Dodgers have 2 men on with 2 outs in the 7th. I'll be right back after this short break. Okay, so the pitching change is done. Silseth is now out there for the Angels, facing Alex Call. The pitch on the way is taken for called strike one. Seventh inning, Alex Call 1 for 3 with a single, reached base on error. He was a big part of that Dodger sixth inning when they scored 4 runs. The pitch on the way is swung on and fouled back and out of play. So Call got on when Netthrow, the shortstop, was unable to make the double play. He threw wildly into first over the head of the first baseman. Call goes to second. Turner goes to third. Next thing you know, Dalton Rushing hits a home run, and everybody's going nuts in Dodger Stadium. 6-4. Ryan Ward comes up, hits a solo home run, 6-5. And then the top of the 7th inning happens, and Angels scored 6 runs, and that's where we're at now, 12-5. Silseth's pitch on the way is a ball, so it's now 1-2 count. And now there's a challenge here. An Angels challenge, and indeed it is a strike, and down goes Call and the Dodgers. So just like that, on a challenge, the rally is squashed. The score, after 7 complete innings in Dodger Stadium, the Angels 12, the Dodgers 5. I'll be right back after this short break. Okay, back to live action. Angels Peraza takes a called strike one. Jack Dreyer to the mound. The pitch on the way is in the dirt for ball one. So 1 ball, 1 strike to Peraza. 0 for 4 today. He struck out 3 times. Fastball missing, ball 2. 2-1 the count. We're in the 8th inning. Angels 12, Dodgers 5. The pitch taken for called strike 2, curveball. Shanuel on deck. Let's see if Dreyer can serve up his 4th strikeout to Peraza. The pitch is swung on and fouled away. The The 2-2 pitch to Peraza. Swung on, a little nubbler fouled along the third base line. Eighth inning, no outs, top of the eighth for the Angels. 2-2 the count to Peraza. Angels 12, Dodgers 5. It pains me to say that. Pitch is swung on and fouled back. After this game, the Dodgers will have the day off. Tomorrow will be a day off and a travel day to Pittsburgh to host the Pirates for 3 games Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. The 2-2 pitch swung on and missed, and down goes Peraza. The 4th strikeout for him this afternoon. And let's see, right behind him is Shanuel. Now, Shanuel has also struck out 3 times today. Let's see if he can get 4 strikeouts right here. 0 for 3. He's got 3 strikeouts, a walk, and a run. The pitch on the way is way inside. Slider for ball 1. Dreyer looking in, 1 out in the 8th. The pitch swung on, a little nubbler, picked up by Dreyer, nicely fielded. He's going to do it himself, run and beat to the bag to beat Shanuel, and now there's 2 outs. Nice fielding play by Dreyer on that one. He backhanded the ball in a glove and just kept moving over to first base, not breaking stride. So 2 outs for the Angels in the 8th. And here comes that man, Jo Adell. Hit the 3-run home run. He's been having a career day. Just when the Dodgers started to get close, he parked that way up top. And Roberts now coming out with a hook to take out Dreyer. And in comes Hurt. So Hurt's coming in as we're in the middle of a pitching change. 2 outs in the 8th inning. And a skeptic would say, well, if he gave Dreyer the hook so quickly, why did it take so long to give Hernandez the hook in that top of the 7th inning and just let all those runs come in? But in any event, the Angels lead 12-5. We're in the middle of a pitching change with 2 outs in the 8th inning. If you're enjoying this broadcast, please give it a thumbs up. Enjoy any support you can along the way. Subscribe to the channel. I'll be here all year long bringing you the best in baseball. Dodger baseball, 2-time world champion. So as I was saying, tomorrow the Dodgers are off a travel day to Pittsburgh. They'll be playing there Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And then on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, they'll be in Chicago taking on the White Sox. The White Sox and then after that, 1 week from today, they'll head on back to LA to take on the Tampa Bay Rays Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday at Dodger Stadium. So that's a quick panoramic view of the Dodgers for the next week on what they'll be doing. Meanwhile, in this game, what the Dodgers are doing is putting Hurt into pitch to Jo Adell. Jo Adell in that 7th inning crushed the Dodgers with that 3-run homer and really opened things up. He's 4 for 4. He's had the 2-run homer and 4 runs he scored. He is having a Hall of Fame career year against the Dodgers. Here's the pitch on the way by Hurt. It's taken for called strike 1, a slider. Meanwhile, Kyle Hurt has pitched in 20 games, 19 innings, 24 strikeouts, 7 walks. He's allowed 1 home run. The 0-1 pitch is taken for called strike 2, a changeup. The 0-2 pitch swung on and fouled away. So 0-2 the count to Adell. 4 for 4, 3 singles, a 2-run home run. He scored 4 runs. A one-man wrecking crew, and Jo Adell. Here's a pitch, swung on and missed, and down he goes. So the Dodgers finally get him, but it appears to possibly be too little too late. The score after 7.5 innings, the Angels 12, the Dodgers 5. I'll be right back after this brief timeout. Back to live action, Dodger Stadium. Dalton rushing to the plate. One ball, no strikes. The pitch on the way from Silseth is taken low, a splitter for ball 2. Here's a pitch that swung on a line, shot down the line and in the corner, rushing, rounding first, cruising into second base with a double. So Dalton Rushing's last 2 plate appearances have been very impressive. A 3-run home run and now a double. And we're in the top of the 8th inning. So Silseth will now face Ryan Ward, who also hit a home run in this game following Rushing in his last appearance at the plate. The first pitch, a fastball low and away for ball 1. One ball, no strikes to Ward. Rushing away from second. Silseth now to the plate is low for ball 2. A fastball missing. Both of those home runs hit by Rushing and Ward were against Serrano. That eventually led to him being chased out of this game. And right now they're against Silseth. Pitching coach now up to the mound for the Angels, having a few words with Silseth, trying to settle him down. 2-0 count to Ward. Angels 12, Dodgers 5 in the 8th inning, no outs and 1 man on. Ward ready to get back in there. The pitch on the way. Swung on and fouled away. So the count is now 2-1. Two balls, one strike. Pitch splitter low, bouncing to the plate. 3-1 now. Three balls, one strike. The pitch swung on and missed. Full count, 3-2. Rojas on deck. The 3-2 pitch swung on and missed, and down goes Ward. So one out for the Dodgers, and up comes Miguel Rojas. Pitch on the way to Rojas is taken for called strike one. Rojas 0 for 2 with a walk. And 0-1 the count. One out, 8th inning. Angels 12, Dodgers 5. The pitch is swung on, and a high fly ball hit the dead center. Back goes Surrey to make the catch at the warning track, and tagging up and moving over to third is Rushing. So now there's 2 outs in the 8th inning. And up comes Alex Freeland to the plate. Alex Freeland has struck out twice and lined out. Now has a man at third in Dalton Rushing trying to drive him home. Ohtani on deck. The pitch is low for ball one. The 1-0 pitch to Freeland is low for ball. Oh, check that. They're going to call that a strike. Let's see if the Dodgers challenge that. It doesn't look like they're going to. So it's a 1-1 count. Two outs in the 8th. The pitch is in the dirt, bouncing. So a splitter misses badly. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Two balls, 1 strike to Alex Freeland. 12-5, Dodgers trail. The pitch is way outside, a sinker missing badly, so 3 balls and 1 strike. Angels 12, Dodgers 5. We're in the 8th. 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th for the Dodgers. They got 1 man on. The windup, the pitch. Swung on and line shot down foul along the first base line. The pitch is a 3-2 count. Celseth Pitch on the way, fouled away. Angels 12, Dodgers 5. Angels blowing this game open in the 7th inning with 6 runs. It was 6-4 at that point, and then the Angels put the pedal to the metal and scored 6 to make it 12-5. And with that, Freeland will be walked and he'll be on base. And now coming to the plate with 2 men on is Shohei Ohtani. So now it looks like we're going to have a pitching change. Out comes Suzuki now to the mound, the Angels manager, and he's bringing a hook with him, and that'll do it for Silseth. 2 outs in the 8th inning, and there's a pitching change. And with that, I'll be right back after. You know what? I'm going to hold off on that, as Ohtani will come to the plate. Just reset what's going on here. The Angels scored 2 runs in the 2nd inning. Then the Dodgers came back with 1 in the 3rd. Angels got 2 in the 4th. Angels then got another 2 in the 5th, making it 6-1. Looked like they were in a laugher running away with it. Dodgers came back with 4 runs in the bottom of the 6th, making it interesting at 6-5. And then the Angels put the pedal to the metal, hammering a 3-run. They got a big home run by Joe Adell, and that made it 12-5. They scored 6 runs in that 7th inning, and so that's where we're at now. Angels 12, Dodgers 5. 2 outs in the 8th inning. Angels are now changing pitchers. Shohei Ohtani's got 2 men on and a chance to make this game interesting again if he can club this one out of here. Make it 12-5, but still there's a big uphill to go in this game. But stranger things have happened. This is the Angels, after all, that they're facing. Let's see what they're going to do. Dodgers beating the Angels very badly in Anaheim the last time they played that series out there. And then now the Angels have come back and played the Dodgers really tough in Los Angeles in this 3-game homestand. Last night they got hammered early. I admit that. 9-2 they lost. But Friday night's game was very close. Anyway, Sam Bachman now comes in the game. We're in the 8th inning, 2 outs, a pitch on the way to Shohei, swung on and missed, a sinker. So Bachman roaring back, throwing a 97-mile-an-hour sinker, and Shohei just missing it. 2 on, 2 outs in the 8th. The pitch is low, changeup missing. Shohei Ohtani, 2 for 4 with 2 singles and a run, hitting .303 on the year with 11 home runs. The pitch is low and inside for ball 2. 2 balls and 1 strike. Bachman trying to get Ohtani out of here and go into the 9th inning. The pitch swung on and missed. Count is now 2-2, a slider. Two balls, 2 strikes to Shohei. 12-5, Dodgers trailing the Angels in the 8th inning. Runners on the corners with 2 outs. The 2-2 pitch swung on and fouled away. Bachman, the 2-2 pitch, swung on and fouled away along the 3rd base line, out of play. If you're enjoying this play-by-play, Please give me a thumbs up. Highly appreciated. If you'd like to see more of my play-by-play, please subscribe to the channel. Meanwhile, back to live action. 2-2 the count to Ohtani. The pitch. There's a ground foul. We're in the 8th inning. 2 outs, 2 on. Angels 12, Dodgers 5. As Ohtani. On deck is Freddie Freeman. Bachman now steps off the rubber, looking in. Now gets the sign from Rivero. Rivero behind the plate's been a one-man wrecking crew along with Joe Adell. He's 4 for 4 behind the plate. The pitch on the way. Swung on and missed, and down goes Ohtani and the Dodgers. So that'll do it for the 8th inning. And the score after 8 complete in Los Angeles. The Angels, 12 runs, 13 hits, and 1 error. The Dodgers, 5 runs, 11 hits, and no errors. I'll be back for the 9th inning. So back for the 9th inning. After this game, the Dodgers will have tomorrow off, a travel day to Pittsburgh. They'll host the Pirates on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Those are all 3:40 starts in LA, 6:40 in Pittsburgh. And then they'll travel to Chicago for 3 games against the White Sox, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and then come home once again and take on the Tampa Bay Rays for 3 games. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So that's a quick look at the Dodgers, what they got going over the next week. And up to the plate comes Nick Madrigal right now. Thank you. So Madrigal has had 35 pitches today, fouling off on 2 occasions over 12 pitches each separate time. Unbelievable. He's been hanging tough, and a tough out to get out indeed. Hurt now to the mound. Madrigal with 3 walks, a single, and 3 runs. Pitch on the way is a high fly ball. Out there is Tucker battling the sun. He's there. He's got it for the catch and the out. And there's 1 out in the 9th. So up comes Surrey. Surrey 2 for 2 today. The pitch is way high. A slider for ball 1. Angels 12, Dodgers 5. We're in the 9th inning. Hurt again. The windup, the pitch is way high again. Fastball missing. 2 balls and no strikes. The 2-0 pitch is swung on and fouled away. Angels 12, Dodgers 5. And the 2-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. A changeup. 2-2 the count. 1 out for the Angels in the 9th. The 2-2 pitch on the way. Swung on a line shot down to Miguel Rojas at short. Picks it up, throws. Too late at first base. So he nicely picked it up, but running down that line very quickly was Suri. So no way was Miguel Rojas going to beat Suri on that throw. So one aboard now with one out. And now comes up Sebastian Rivero. 4 for 4, 4 singles. He's worn out the Dodgers today. And 4 ribbies. The pitch is low, changeup, for ball 1. While I don't follow the Angels, it'll be very interesting to see how much time they give Rivero behind the plate now moving forward after this performance, or is this just a one and done? Pitch on the way is a shot, hit in for 5 up the alley, and up chasing it is Ward, rounding second, trying to come home to the plate and will score easily is Suri on a 5-for-5 performance by Rivero. Unbelievable. He's gotten 6 RBIs, 5 hits. He's a one-man wrecking crew. And the score is now 13-5. I don't ever remember seeing a no-name player come off the bench like this and just totally take it to the Dodgers. 13-5. The pitch on the way swung on and missed. To net throw. Looking at Rivero's line, he 6 RBIs, 5 hits, 1 run he scored in all of that in 5 plate appearances today. Standing at second base with that double as he just doubled in Suri, rounding the bases to score. Here's a foul ball. It's Tucker moving over quickly. Once again, it'll bounce foul and out of play. So 1 out in the 9th. 0-2 the count to net throw. And Rivero is wearing out the Dodgers. Net throw waiting in. Hurt the pitch way in the dirt, bounces up there. Nice backhanded save by Dalton Rushing behind the plate. Only thing. One for 2, 1-2 the count. Rivero away from second. The pitch from Hurt swung on and missed, and down goes Netro. 13-5. Angels lead. Sebastian Rivero 5 for 5, 4 singles, a double, 6 RBIs, a run, career high in hits and RBIs. Like I say, he comes in. Is he going to Wally Pipp hop? And they'll keep him as a regular catcher? I wouldn't count on it. But to the plate, speaking of Hall of Famers, the future Hall of Famer Mike Trout. Trout's been very quiet in this game. 0 for 4. If someone told you the Angels scored 13 runs in this game, you'd say, well, how many did Trout have? What was Trout's line? 4 for 4? 5 for 5? No, he went 0 for 4. Here's the pitch on the way is a slider outside for ball 2. So Trout's been very quiet, hitting .228. Meanwhile, a no-name guy like Rivero goes in there and has been carrying the team. Joe Adell has been no slouch as well. There's a pitch fouled away. So between Adell and Rivero, they've been too much for the Dodgers to handle today. Two and 1 the count to Trout. 2 outs in the 9th. The pitch swung on and fouled away. A changeup. The count is now 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Trout. 9th inning, 2 outs, 1 on. Angels 13, Dodgers 5. Swung on and missed, and down goes Trout. So that'll do it. Trout goes 0 for 5, and the Angels scored 13 runs on 15 hits. Can you believe that? I'll be back for the bottom of the 9th inning right after this. Back to live action here. Mitch Ferris comes to the mound now. 10 games he's pitched in, 23 innings, 22 strikeouts, 11 walks, allowed 5 home runs. The bottom of the 9th inning we go. The pitch on the way to Freddie Freeman is fouled away. 0-1 the count to Freeman. Angels 13 runs. Pitch on the way is swung on and missed. A slider for strike 2. So as I was saying, the Angels' line in this game is 13 runs, 15 hits, and 1 error. Dodgers 9 runs, 5 runs, 9 hits, and no errors. Check that, 11 hits. Pitch is fouled away by Freeman. 0-2 the count remains. 0-2 pitch outside for ball 1. Fastball missing. One and 2. The count to Freeman. The pitch is taken for called strike 3, and down goes Freeman. And now comes Kyle Tucker to the plate. We're in the 9th inning. 1 out for the Dodgers. 13 runs for the Angels. 5 runs for the Dodgers. And the Dodgers are down to their last 2 outs. The pitch. Taken for called strike 1, a fastball. Mm-mm. 0-1 pitches in the dirt, bouncing all the way to the backstop. So 1-1 the count. Ferris on the mound for the Angels, trying to close this game out. Without a doubt, the player of the game is Rivero. 5 for 5 performance. Incredible. Pitch on the way to Tucker, swung on and fouled away. And the fact that he's hitting in the 9th position, too, doing all of that damage. 1-2, the count to Tucker. The pitch is called strike 3, and down goes Tucker. And the Dodgers are down to their last strike and down to their last out. And up comes Max Muncy. Mm-hmm. The pitch on the way to Muncy is taken for called strike 1, a slider. Pitch on the way is a bouncer for a ball 1. One and one the count to Muncy. 2 outs in the 9th. Angels 13, Dodgers 5. Ferris pitch on the way is taken for called strike 2, a changeup. So now the Dodgers are down to their last strike. The windup, the 1-2 pitch is way inside for ball 2. Ferris delivers the 2-2 pitch, fouled away. Two outs in the 9th, 2-2 count to Muncy. The pitch swung on and fouled away again, fastball. So Muncy hanging in there tough, not giving up just yet. Once again, after this game, Dodgers were off tomorrow, then take on the Pirates in Pittsburgh Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Here's a pitch inside. They're going to check over at first base, and indeed it is over. So Muncy strikes out. Dodgers go down. The final score, the Dodgers lose this game to the Angels 13-5. Thank you so much for tuning in. Appreciate the thumbs up that you gave me along the way. I will be back doing next play-by-play Thursday. Have yourself a pleasant good evening to you wherever you may be.